Welcome back to another episode of my Inside the Track series. This time I want to walk you through my song In My Chest, first released in 2021 on the Hope EP. I went to college for music in Stuttgart, Germany from 2011 till 2015. And just in the middle of college in 2013, fate brought me the love of my life. I met her at a college party where I played with a salsa band back in the day. And after the set of the salsa band was done, we went dancing. Robin Thicke's hit single Blurred Lines had just come out. And of course the DJ played the song. And we got pretty close on the dance floor. So that's why this song became our song. Anyway, you probably get the idea. We were shaking it all night long. And this is exactly the emotion that I try to capture in this song, paired with the conclusion that I will always remember this feeling that I had during that moment, because I can feel it in my chest whenever I remember this moment. In writing, I think it's very important to be as honest as possible and as detailed as possible when it comes to storytelling. So I'm always trying to frame the scene as good as possible in order to make it the most relatable for my listeners. You can use smell, look, locations, sounds, feelings, and emotions to do that, and to let the listener kind of enter the realm of the story you want to tell. In My Chest is also one of the fastest songs I've ever written, in the sense of time I need to write and produce the song. I was listening to a lot of Charlie Puth when I wrote this song, and I really love that he's using the Juno synth on many of his songs, because it's one of my favorite synths as well. So I tried to find a chord progression with a very similar synth, and I came up with this. And this became like the main element of the song. I really love the jazz kind of approach in these chords, but at the same time, they still feel like pop music to me. Then I just recorded some simple disco drums. Sounds like this. Added a bass line and looped the whole thing over the entire course of a song. And I really tried to make this song a disco kind of pop banger. So these were my driving forces behind that. And that's about it. I didn't really feel to break down the arrangement at some point, although I did, as you see later. But instead, I wanted the song to have this very positive, driving groove to it. And notice I again parallel processed the bass here in order to make it super wide and interesting. Bass in solo. And without the parallel. It just makes it a little wider, a little more nasty, a little more interesting overall. And I wanted the bass to be like the side main instrument next to the keys. So and I basically recorded the whole song to only bass, synth, and drums. And I can only recommend to write songs with as little instrumentation as possible, because it clearly outlines weaknesses of your melody or your song structure. A general rule of thumb that I try to apply is if it works with only one instrument and vocals, your song is really good. Alright, so once again, the guitars are getting a very special part in the arrangement. They just put some stardust on top of the arrangement because it already was very solid. And also the guitars kind of fill the gaps where I thought the sound could benefit from them. So second verse is where the funk comes in. And I started to introduce the guitars, or like the funk guitars, with this very special guitar fill right here. Check it out. Once again. I just love it. Again, harmonized guitar part. And then a more classical pattern funk guitars in the second chorus. Check it out. So funky. I love that. Then, nonetheless, I wanted to break down the arrangement for just a brief moment and to build up some tension for my personal highlight of this arrangement, the bass solo. Check it out. Here we go. Break down. Only keys, slowly starting to build up some tension. New vocal line, Cabasas on the right. Build up and solo. And that's a peak of the arrangement. And as you can hear, I sing along to what I play, or I play along to what I sing. I've been scatting along to my solos live a lot, but I never really recorded anything close to that. So I wanted to make this very special and the peak of the arrangement, while also showing some virtuosity on the instrument as well. So in the outro section, I reintroduced this vocal melody that I introduced in the breakdown part, and just gave the guitars and the keys, as well as the organ that my good friend Rainer played, some more space to shine. And some ad-libs on top. So after I finished the arrangement, I added this repeating vocal choir section here that you already heard in the introduction and then again in every chorus. Check it out. And this is a vocal choir that I recorded pretty early in the arranging stage, but then muted it for a very long time. And then I brought in a couple of my friends. Shout out to Jenny, Jeremy, and Conrad, who did an amazing job thickening up this vocal choir here. And also, as I mentioned, my friend Rainer, he brought in some of his magic too. It's just like in the last third of the song, just to glue together the harmony parts of the song. And also there's some funky stuff going on during the bass solo. I loved it. Let's hear solo. And it supports the dynamic of this section of the song so much. I love it. And as I said in earlier episodes of this Inside the Track, I think the organ is such an organic instrument to glue together all the harmony instruments. And somehow everything just feels a lot nicer if there's Hammond involved. I guess it's due to like the rotor cabinet or so. Somehow this really makes you feel good and it's fun to listen to and it's very interesting. Although the Hammond is very, very subtle in the mix, I think the mix benefits a lot from it. I might have gotten a little more dense than I expected this arrangement to be, but I think overall it's still very fluffy and fun to listen to. Alright, so that's it for In My Chest. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Inside the Track. If you want to find out more about me and my music, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel or follow me on social media. Thank you for your support, it means the world to me, and I hope to see you in the next episode.